Hey everybody, I'm Jay Martin. Thanks for watching. This is a Napoleon game. It's a 1v1 on Grassy, which I still hold is the best format for 1v1 games. I don't like Grassy on group games, but or anything bigger than 3v3 or all that. But the 1v1 on Grassy game is still a good deal. So I'm playing. I'm this player here. I'm GB. I've got standard build that I bring. Lately, it's probably not the best build for 1v1. I've only got 2 cav, and that'll really tell later. I could use an extra cav unit, maybe more than an infantry unit, but you never know. It goes both ways. My opponent is a guy that I really respect, actually. His name is Manolito. And what I like a lot of things about Manolito. I don't know the guy personally, but I've been playing against this guy for as long as I've been playing Napoleon, for a year and a half now, and I think he's actually in a handful of videos that I've done, just as a testament to how much I play against him. But a couple things I like about this guy. The first is that he's just a good fucking player, man. He's a hard fucking player. Actually, a while ago, I think Crongy sent me a replay to do a video on that I never did. Crongy sent me a replay of playing against this guy, and I really respect Crongy. Crongy's a great Napoleon player, so if Crongy gets excited about the fact that he got to play against you, that says a lot. And so, this guy's a good respected player. Another thing that I like about him, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but I don't think he's ever been in a clan. He's never been in a clan or anything. So he's just a fucking gamer. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a guy that gets out there and plays the fucking game. And I don't know how much cooler you can get than that, you know? Like, this guy just plays, that's all he does. He just plays a fucking game. He's not interested in the bullshit you get into with clans and all that, yada yada, and I kind of respect that. So, it was, he joined my game, and it was good to see him and everything. So, this is a good guy. If you see Manolito hosting a game, you should join it, and he'll give you a run for your money. That's for damn sure. This is a game that, to get to the specifics of the game, that I kind of punted on a little bit. On his right side, he has a militia, a National Guard, a Polish, and a Polish facing off against 4 of my line. I should be moving aggressively up this flank. I do not do that. That's a problem. I said this is a strong flank. He goes Polish, Young Guard. I think that's a Seaman. Yeah, and he's got an Old Guard move in this direction. So his strong flank is here. He has 2 Old Guard in reserve. But what I should have been doing is I should have been moving up the center. Now, he does drop a line of stakes there. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. I think that a lot of times that I'm better at talking about Napoleon than playing it. This is a scenario where I should be advancing up the right, and I'm not. You notice him withdrawing a little bit, so obviously he's smart. I'm not. And he knows that his... well, it's his left, my right. We'll call it my right. He knows that his right is weak, and he's not doing much about it. The other mistake that I'm making is that, it's a mistake that he's making. I'm a firm advocate that you have to keep cav available to threaten your opponent's lights, to force them to keep line behind their lights. In this scenario, because he's dropped stakes, his lights are pretty safe. So maybe he doesn't need to keep line units behind his lights, but the threat that cav poses to naked lights is really, really great. And you notice that his cav is on the wings, and I have 2 line units here guarding my lights that really aren't necessary because he's got his cav on the wings. If I was him, I think that one of his cav units should be in the center right here, is kind of a thing that I would do. That forces me to keep my line units in the center. Now, I keep my line units in the center anyway because I'm bad at the game. But that's something that he should do. The other thing that I should be doing is that I horribly outnumber him in the center. He has 5 units of Volts, I have 5 units of British Lights, and 2 militia to suck up bullets. So I should be attacking. This is a really good example of me doing things that I don't recommend. Or this is a really good game of, at least at this stage in the game, doing things that are bad. So the 2 things that I should be doing now is I should be advancing on the right against this line, and I should be advancing in the center. What was going through my head, and you get, oh, I'm actually doing something smart here. You see that I recognize that this cav is not a threat, and I'm starting to move one of my line units this direction. So I'm actually doing something intelligent, but I'm not doing much intelligent else. So this is a game of, at this stage, I'm not doing much. I think I get bored, essentially, and I kind of start to move in the center. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go, my lights against his with a line of stakes in the front. I was pretty sure that with the 2 militia units sucking up bullets that eventually I should win the light fight here. The real mistake that I made is I should have started this fight about 90 seconds ago. This gives him an opportunity to start to move on the left. You can see him getting kind of in position here. And really what he's doing there is moving an old guard into the line. You can see one of my line units turns red just from the existence of the old guard, which is not good. So I start to move my other guy up in a line there. That unit is running, but it does move up a little late. He moves in on the left. So what we have is firefight in the center and firefight in the left. So he charges a cav unit here. Ooh, sorry. I get in the square. It's pretty telling that he's going to bounce to this unit, so I think I try to get that unit in the square after the volley goes off. I countercharge the cav pretty much just to force him to square. Unfortunately, the timing for me is really bad because my cav takes the volley in the fucking face. My timing is pretty good. As soon as his Lancer switches targets, I do try to unfold to get into firing position against this Polish here. My cav unit, unfortunately, has really minimal effect against that young guard. He does catch me here a little bit. His cav unit tries to spin into my 3rd unit. You can see how members of that are dying. And that is effective. That does cut out. I make a fuck up here and I come out of square, and so immediately I start to retreat back to another line. Notice the big mistake that I'm making is that I'm not attacking on this right flank. While the action over here on his strong flank is occurring, I should be corresponding with action on his weak right. The fact that I don't do this, I think, should cost me the game. I think that I should deserve to lose the game at this point. Over here, the only thing I can do is run away or kite from him, and his cav unit continues to deal more casualties to me than it should. I do believe that this cav unit charge from him is ill-advised. He sends a Lancer in ahead of his infantry. I think he should have moved his infantry up and then charged the cav in. This allows me to get a good double team. I kill that one cav unit that was still fucking me up, and then I get a pretty good square against these guys, although they do cause me problems. I mean, this isn't a bad way to go. He follows that up, and really with 2 of my units in square, I think that he should be moving up a little bit quicker. I think he missed a move there. It cost him a few seconds. Probably not the biggest deal in the world, but I'm trying to shoot at him. So this unit routes, and I'm obviously having problems on the left. So on the left, I'm having a bit of trouble. In the center, I'm doing pretty good. I've routed a lot of his volts. But again, the strategic value of me doing this is not really evident because I'm not able to turn any of my light units onto either side of his flank. I think I'm trying to do that now and shoot at this worthless National Guard unit. I cannot stress what a mistake this was for me to not be more aggressive here. This kind of violation of my own kind of personal policies as a player. The real failure of the game, I think I could have blown this guy out because I could have crushed. I think I start making the move. Okay, I'm finally making the move there. But at the point that I do that, I'm in full retreat, and by this time I think I've committed both of my cav units on this flank. That's an important fact. I've committed both of my I only have 2 cav units. I've committed both of them on this flank, purely playing defense. This is going to be important here in a minute. So his advance up the left has been pretty successful. Notice I have the unit that came back from routing way over there that I don't think I noticed for the entire game. That unit showing up on his flank, if I'd have done that, would have been really, really good. This is a really good example of me playing bad. I'm playing quite poor. What I want you to look at right now is the firefight on the right that I should have engaged in about 5 minutes earlier. That's 4 of my line against a militia, and what again? Polish? Yeah. So I have advantage here, and if I'd had a cav unit, man, just kicking myself in the ass. If I'd had a cav unit available here, this could have been a complete crush, and I really played poorly here by not doing that. I'm running away on the left. I have been able to switch a lot of my light units to give me fire here, which is good. I'm dealing casualties to that old guard, but I'm just really what I'm doing is I'm playing the kite game over here. I'm afforded to do that because I have more infantry than him, but notice over here on the right that I caused a bit of a rout, and I'd said earlier that if I had a cav unit here that I could have caused that, but more importantly, if I had a cav unit here, I could have chased down these routing units. There's an old guard, he starts retreating away with it, which is what he has to do because there's a whole bunch of my guys. And the game honestly looks pretty good for me here, right? Because I finally routed his red, finally got my ass in gear and do that. I should be able to turn and envelop his left. I should be able to do that. But I'm a dumbass, so I don't do that. This is him getting his last cav into my general. That's bad. Notice I still have a unit out there in the fucking BFE not doing shit. The cav unit killed my general, still going strong. It's gonna fuck up some of my lights. Yep, there we go. And this is a game that I feel like I should have been able to win incredibly handily, and then I completely make every excuse possible to lose. In the end, remember the 3 units that routed that I should have chased down with cav? They all come back from routing. The old guard here goes into melee and is going to rout one of my foot units. So the only success I had in the game on the right turns out to be kind of a wash, because he's going to just, attrition me with everybody he's got. Yep, old guard routes my guys have to retreat, and I have a dead general. So, and that random cav unit routed a bunch of my light infantry. So, what seems like it should have been a game that I was, A, given every opportunity to win, and B, had those opportunities in hand to win, turns out that I'm a complete dickhead and aren't able to do it. See that unit still way back there? Not doing shit with it. And so we wind up in the mid-game. And this is the mid-game. Notice, again, for emphasis, my right flank that I was winning comfortably. He still has 3 units that he's able to retrieve from that, which should have been 0 if I'd have done it correctly. And this remains my army. So I pull back to this line here, and as he outnumbers me, he's game enough. I guess you could argue I'm playing the kite game, but I retreat, and he keeps coming in to take the beating. He's successful there. Routes of foot. I think maybe if I was him right here, I would have taken a minute to reform lines, because it looks like I'm getting free shots with a light infantry unit that is still pretty healthy on an old guard nonetheless. So that's pretty. Still that unit in the back, not doing shit with it. A couple of my units come back from routing. And in a second, I think that I'm going to try to reform to a new line. Now, interesting point. A couple videos ago, I posted a video of me playing a live game where my GB troops insta-routed. I think that old guard's probably out of ammo, so it's going for melee charge. I learned my lesson, and I think that when this game was occurring, the fact that my general had routed, like, I totally didn't even fucking notice. Like, I totally didn't even notice. And I think right about now, it occurs to me like, oh, fuck, my general's dead. And this guy's got old guard charging everywhere. So right about now, I start to stage kind of like a big-ass retreat. And I start to run away. Because guess what? My guys keep chain routing. That's a foot routing at 60. That fencible, I think, is at its time anyway. That old guard I think does wood in melee, and I start to get a big ass fucking chain route. Right, there we go, big ass fucking chain route, and it occurs to me that what killed me in the last game was that like stack up of penalties of like general routing or general dying and then chain route, and essentially I just run away. And so I start to run away. The reason I run away is because I need time for those penalties to wear off. Still, that unit's sitting in the background. And so I start to run away here. And a game that looked like I should have been able to comfortably win a few minutes ago now turns into like complete fucking disaster. What does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 infantry units, and he has a live general. That is at full strength, so I'm not going to be killing the general anytime. And essentially I just run away. I run back here. I think currently right now I have 2 line units. I think, am I finally moving this guy? I'm finally moving that guy. Because it occurs to me, I think what happened in the game was, I was like, oh, why is he running? Oh, because I have a unit there. Why is he running units there? Because I have a unit there. So, guys come back from routing. I'm up to 5 infantry units again. Faced off against his 7. And I start running back this direction. At this point in the game, good old Manolito actually, I think he says in chat, he's like, come on. Like, come on. And I totally respect where he's coming from. And the reason that I was running away from him is because I needed time for that your general recently died penalty. Yeah, see, look at that. General fled recently. I need time for that general fled recently penalty to turn off, or to kind of run its course. And so my solution was to run away. And so I'm running away from him now. So that's kind of why I was doing that. And the reason I was doing that is obviously because I learned my lesson the hard way last time. The real threat to me on the field right now is this old guard here that's only got 27 men, so probably one more volley will take care of that. There's another old guard at 33. So things are looking bad right now, especially when you factor in these 2 units there that have dutifully routed mine. But I don't know. I'm going to lose this game, obviously, but my best choice is to run away and try to reform a new line, and just restart the fight, hopefully with my general penalty. Yeah, frightening enemy unit. Like my guys start to turn green again, which is good. And so the kind of retreat that I made here, I think maybe was a good one. You can't deny that I'm kind of fucked here. I think these Volts still have ammo, which is really bad for me, but I kind of yeah, his Volts start shooting at me. I'm curious why my guys don't shoot back. I think maybe I was out of ammo with that unit. So we get to a point here where his units are facing off against mine, and I kind of want to give a little apology to the guy. I mean, obviously, once he got the advantage, I kind of ran away and made him take the first shot every time. That Volt obviously was out of ammo. But he comes running in right now. Man, that fucking old guard at 19 is not routing. There we go. But he makes the charge here, and this is maybe when the tide turns a little bit. I go in for melee there with those lights. I don't know. 1v1 games are kind of weird sometimes, that they come down to really stupid shit. Earlier in the game, I felt that I had the advantage and the ability to win this game legitimately. Obviously, that attack that he makes right there, props to him for actually making the attack. I think that if he'd have camped, I think that arguably I camped a bit there. He might have. I think if he made a mistake, it was that not waiting for he has a young guard and a Polish back there, that if he'd have waited for them to come up, that he would have won. I think he obviously felt that he could win that fight without them. But it turns out that in that little last stand that I made, that I'm able to hold off all of his units. That's the guard seaman still rocking. If I remember correctly, I have 4 units left. 2 of them have ammo, 2 of them do not. So I send the 2 units with ammo into melee and the rest into shoot at that guard seaman. My hope is that I can route that guard seaman unit before these 2 units come back into play, and it looks like I do that. Yeah, so what we have now is, I guess, kind of the advantage is back on me. I have 4 line units, and he has those 2 plus his general. A really tense little 1v1 game, truth be told. Man, I'm running low on scotch here. And so I kind of reform. I imagine that those 2 units that he has there have ammo, but I kind of did the same thing that I did in the last lone engagement, that I form up, try to get my guys back up to fresh, and his guys are very tired and exhausted, and you know, he moves in, man. Again, I kind of want to say that I took advantage of game mechanics a little bit. I don't know if there's a term for that, but he's game enough, he moves in and goes for it a little bit, and I think in a second that I actually get into range. Yeah, there goes the melee attack against that Polish Legion. There goes the attack there. So, you know, I don't know. I think kind of when you think about it, the issue in Napoleon is who gives the first shot, right? That's kind of like the big issue, and I kind of want to, if I'm optimistic, I say that we kind of traded taking the first shot when, you know, the player with the advantage has kind of the obligation to take the first shot, right, or to get in there and get shot at first. The player making the assault. So I think maybe we kind of traded that a little bit, but I think maybe he gave me a little bit more than I gave him in this game. So I kind of felt an obligation to say that or to make that clear. But this is the end. I think that his young guard here is out of ammunition, is why he makes this melee charge. His general gets in there and does some good damage. This again could go either way. I mean, he has a guard unit, I don't. But in the end, the way this goes, I think his general's going to route here, and then that young guard, yeah, his general routes, and that young guard goes pretty quick. So I guess I wound up pulling this out, but I thought it was a really great game, and he dealt more casualties. Oh no, maybe I did. Okay, sorry, I did it backwards. I actually caused more casualties. Fuck yeah, I'm good at this game. But this is a really good player, and I enjoy playing with him, or against him. I've only played against him, but he's a really good player, and I guess that you probably don't watch my videos, man. But if you ever need somebody to guard your flank, you know, give me a call. I'll guard your flank anytime. So, GG, Manolito. Anyway, thanks for watching.